Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And where are you in Austria right now?
No, I'm in the UK right now training at the top team, Great Britain top team.
Oh, okay, awesome. So, do you have your own gym in Austria, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The gym is in
Awesome.
Austria, in Graz.
Okay. Okay. But you primarily fight out of the UK or train out of the UK?
No, no, I'm primarily fighting out of Austria. I'm training in Austria.
Okay.
I just came here for training camp.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Bogdan Grad, how you feeling today, my man?
Hey, hello everybody. I'm feeling very good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And so you got a look because sometimes with the UFC you don't get the longest heads up, but you got about enough time for an 8 week camp for this next fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they announced me 8 weeks before. So the good thing is I was training also before that
Okay.
for 13 weeks. So I was ready, just waiting for the call.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of guys, they don't, they kind of blow up in between fights. Do you stay pretty disciplined between fights?
Yeah, I train all year round and I stay disciplined because this career is short, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm already 30, and in the best case, I don't know, I go to 35. I don't know. So I have to stay in shape and stay ready for every opportunity that comes.
Of course. Of course. I know you said you're cooking. What are you cooking?
I'm cooking some pasta with chicken,
Awesome.
just simple.
Yeah. And is that what you usually like to go to for like a post workout?
Yeah, I mean, pasta is not so often there, but potatoes and rice is the most of the time with chicken.
Okay. Okay. And what did you grow up on? What food were you typically eating?
Oh, I grew up in Romania until I was 10, and we had very typical food in Romania. Fat food.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah. So take me through kind of just briefly here your beginning, how you got into MMA. I read some cool stuff about you. You got the fight on the international MMA that circuit, like the world circuit. So kind of talk to me a little bit about that whole
You
experience.
mean the beginning in the UFC and how I got into the UFC?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Or just
Yeah.
MMA in general. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Basically, I started when I was 14 years old with karate and kickboxing,
Mm.
and at age of 16, I was like, okay, kickboxing and karate is not that what I want. I want something more. Uh, then I discovered MMA pretty late, and I had the luck to have a gym in the near Champions Gym where I'm till today. And I went there and fell in love, man. And here we are today.
Yeah. So when you got into karate, was it for self-defense? Did you want to do like a point fighting type of thing? What were you doing it for?
Now the plan was to get up to get to that point in my career where I'm a professional fighter, but didn't have the knowledge. I thought karate is the thing at that time.
Right. Yeah.
So I started with it. But I already told my father when I was 7 years old, we were watching some kickboxing fights in the TV, and I was telling him, one day you're gonna see me fight in the TV, and it was always in the back of my mind.
Yeah. So when was your big first televised fight?
I mean, I fought at a big event as an amateur, the IMFs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that was basically the biggest stage for me as an amateur. And after that, I fought at cage fight series that's streamed on UFC Fight Pass, and that was pretty big for me at that moment.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so I saw that it has your official fight style listed as karate on the UFC website, but of course you're a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're a black belt in kickboxing, two of, in my opinion, the most effective martial arts you can have. So, do you still like to blend karate into your training and your actual fighting, or do you kind of put that on the back burner?
Oh no, the really the traditional karate things I don't practice anymore, but I implement some kicks that I learned there and that I still like, question mark kicks, and yeah, I still like that style, but now I focus on the more um, effective things.
Right, right. Yeah. And as far as like, were you into the UFC when you were a kid? Were you watching UFC events?
No, as I told you, when I was 16 years old, I discovered MMA, and then I start to watch all of the fights. But before, no, sadly not.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was just wondering, because you came from like, you started in karate. I didn't know if you ever watched any like Stephen Thompson, any of that. Of
Of
course.
course,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before that, I was watching a lot of old school K1 fights, K1
Oh,
Grand Prix, and there was one of my all-time favorites, Andy Hug
mm,
from Switzerland, and he was doing Kyokushin karate and implementing this in K1 and beat a lot of guys. The spinning heel kick to the leg
mm.
is something I like, and I copied from him.
Yeah. Yeah. And even you see guys now, he got in on obviously a little too late, but like Michael Page, of course. And then really, I think, MMA goes through cycles, but kickboxing definitely is always, you can see throughout the history of the UFC and big MMA, it's always had its place. So I think that's really cool. And I think guys like Izzy kind of come in and yeah,
Yeah,
and they mix it up a
Poatan.
little bit, right? Poets, of course, Poeton. And speaking of Poeton, we just watched that fight. Give me your thoughts on the UFC event this weekend.
Amazing event, man. I mean, the amazing fights. Every fight was a knockout, spectacular finishes. I loved it. I loved it, and to be honest, that Gaethje won. I was very happy.
Mm,
I thought, okay, Gaethje is now 37. He had a beautiful career. Topuria is, I think he's 28 right now. He has
mm,
all the time in the world, and he already had his title. He already has a very good legacy, let's say, even if he's that young. And I was very happy for Gaethje, seeing him win and ending his career. I don't know if he's gonna really end it right now, but ending his career with a title he will work so long for.
right, right. Yeah, how cool was that? Because people were kind of talking, writing him off. They were like putting him in that category of one of the best of all time to never win a belt because they were just assuming he wasn't going to get it. Um,
Yeah,
so, so yeah,
I mean, I also thought, ooh, probably Topuria is gonna knock him out,
yeah.
but I hope that he's gonna win.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, man. I mean, in your division, featherweight division, that's where Ilya really had made his mark. That's where he started. I remember when he was number four and Volk was kind of running through everybody, he kept calling for that Volk fight. And I remember hearing it, this was whatever, 3 years ago now, and I was just like, there's no way Ilya beats him. And then of
Yeah,
course, yeah, yeah, we see how that goes. But
3 years ago, man, time flies. This is crazy.
right, right. And that's kind of what I wanted to get into with your fight was obviously August 1st, you got a big fight coming up at the featherweight 145 division. I think stylistically, this is a really cool matchup. And you said you only might have 5 years, but realistically, 30 is kind of the prime for MMA. Um,
Correct.
yeah, yeah. So you definitely have a lot of upside going into this fight, and of course you're coming off a loss, but you still I think you rattled off. Are you two wins or one win? One win in the UFC?
One win and two losses. So I had the first, my debut was a win,
Right,
and then I lost by point against Muhammad Naimov, and then got knocked out by Luke Riley.
right. And you had talked about your first time ever getting finished, I believe, or knocked out maybe was Contender Series, right?
Yeah, first time at Contender Series against Tom Nolan.
Right, right. And so that UFC competition, how much, to explain to people that have never even fought before, how much different is that UFC competition compared to like a regular, just MMA circuit?
I mean, it really depends on the opponent, but the UFC level is completely different than what you see around the world. And we have good examples of fighters that come to the UFC from other leagues, and they don't do shit in when you compare them to what they did before.
Hmm.
Michael Chandler, for example, he was a fucking killer in
Yeah,
Bellator before. And he came to the UFC and he's now what, 1-6, 1-7?
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
And what I think is the biggest thing is the mental aspect. People underestimate this. Uh, I talked to Michael Bisping when I had my second fight. I met him and he said to me, "Yo, Bogdan, when I joined the UFC, um, I shit my pants, man. I was I was a champion in another organization, but the UFC is completely different feeling, and you have to get used to it.
Hmm.
So it's completely another stage. You can't compare it to anything else, in my opinion.
Yeah. And now, since if you include Contender Series, you're five, this will be your six fights into the UFC. Do you feel like you're kind of getting that, dance in there now? You kind of understand it a little better?
Yeah, I think that already happened when I fought Muhammad Naimov. I had a feeling now I belong here,
Hmm.
but and also with Luke Riley, I felt very good, but he was the better man that night. He timed it good and he got me. Um, so and the level is very, very high. You can't do mistakes. Even if you do one small mistakes, I don't know, after hitting the guy, just going back and your hand is not here, your hand is here. You
Mm.
get caught. Small mistakes are being punished so hard here. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I think you put it great because the last like two UFC fighters I've talked to have said the exact same thing. It's just the how do you say like uh the margin for error is so much slimmer in the UFC than anywhere else. Um,
yes,
so
you
yeah.
have no time for errors, and this is why you have to work very clever in your training to fix your mistakes there. So when you go to the fight, you don't make them because you don't have a lot of prize, let's say.
Yeah.
Because if you have to fix your mistakes in your fights, you're not gonna last. Some mistakes, yeah. If you don't get knocked out, okay. If you don't get submitted, but in my position right now, this is the last fight in my contract, and it's all or nothing.
Yeah, of course, man. And like I said, I mean, this will be, I think, a really, really cool fight because his style, from what I've seen at least, is he's a very high volume striker. He tries to push the pace, but you also are a very tough, have been in it now for 14 years. MMA, black belt, like we just talked about, in BJJ, black belt kickboxing. You've shown that you can do it both on the ground and standing up. What is kind of of course, without giving away any game plan, but what is
Yeah,
kind of your mindset coming into this fight?
I got signed to the UFC for something. Dana White said this was one of the best fights in Contender Series when he gave me the contract. And I wasn't holding the guys, I wasn't wrestling the guys. I was fucking fighting. And I come to fight. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna use takedown, that I'm not gonna use clinch, but I'm gonna use brutality. This is the plan. Let's see how it gonna goes.
Yeah, yeah. So do you see this one not going to decision?
Yeah, I see it. I see it where I'm getting a finish in the second round,
Mm.
or it's gonna be a fucking bloody war
Yeah.
because this guy is tough. I mean, he's 1-4 or 1-5 in the UFC, but that doesn't mean shit. He get caught 2 times. Okay, he lost two close decision against very good guys. But yeah, we're gonna see. Just tune in on August 1st, and let's see what happens.
Of course, man. We'll definitely be watching because I know you've been working, like you just said. I think this one, if you just know stylistic matchups, I don't think this one's going the distance. So this will be a good one. And even we've seen guys, even if they don't win a fight, they can still get the extension just because they're absolute warriors. Um,
Yes,
so is this something you pride yourself on, just going out there and just laying it all on the line?
I'm 100% gonna lay everything on the line.
Yeah.
Of course, the win is the plan, but what I what I l- what I like more than winning is people saying this was fucking incredible and we want to watch this guy again.
Awesome, dude. That's exactly what the fans want to hear too. They want to tune into a guy that's going to lay it all on the line, win
Yeah.
or lose. So as far as I want to ask, as far as film goes, do you like to watch a lot of film on your opponents?
Um. Yeah. I not too much. I like to see their main things,
Hmm.
and then I let my team do the other work, and they just tell me, okay, that's the game plan. That's what we think, and then I add my opinion to that. We just create a game plan that feels good for me and that in our opinion maximize the winning chances, and then we go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. You try to make him fight to your style, not the other way around, right?
At this level I think that's all about just about this, because we are all good. Okay, we don't talk about the top 15 guys because that's different, but all the other guys, we are all good, we are all explosive, we all have our strengths, and at the end of the day it's about who can force the other guy, his game plan, his strategy.
Yeah. Yeah. So where is this? I can't remember. Where is this one taking place?
In Belgrade, in Serbia.
Oh, okay, awesome. So you had two fights in a row that were in the Middle East. One was Saudi Arabia. The other one was in Qatar.
Yes, and the second one was also in Azerbaijan, so all three were there.
Oh, it was in Azerbaijan. Was that on the what year was that?
Last year, all three fights were last year.
Okay, so was that on the Khalil Roundtree card?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay, awesome. And I heard nothing but good things about that one. How was your experience there?
Amazing. I mean, UFC treats me always very good. The people there were big fans. They made a good atmosphere in that arena, and the build around the event was crazy. A lot of stuff for fans, boxing gloves to buy, bags hanging around so people can play a big area. It was very nice.
Yeah. Oh no, that's what I've heard is those Middle Eastern countries, they really go all out for these fights. Um,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. And then like kind of like the last two things I want to get in before we wrap up here is the first thing, I know it's going to depend on fights, but what does a typical fight week look like for you?
Oh, so let's say Monday starts the fight week. Um, of course, the weight cut has to be on point.
Hmm.
So cutting carbs, cutting salt, the procedure. And Tuesday we start with some media stuff. We sign the posters. Wednesday we have photo shoots. We have interviews, and the day after is just free for the weight cut. Friday weigh-ins in the morning. In the evening we have the ceremonial weigh-ins, and then you just rest and get ready for Saturday for the big night.
So when you were fighting in Qatar and Saudi, what days were you getting there like a week before?
On Monday.
Monday. Okay, so you got there on
Monday, so
Monday.
start of the fight week.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I said, yeah, they really go all out for these fights, and especially with this new Paramount deal, I've heard that they are really trying to take it to the next level as well. With these preparations. But last thing I wanted to ask was your weight cuts. Are those typically a little rough for you, or do you naturally walk around that weight?
Naturally, I am always on a diet, man. On a diet. I'm always counting my calories.
Hmm.
I love food. I really love food. And if I wouldn't count and be careful, I would weigh 83, 84, and that's too much. So I just do my cheat meals, and the most of the time I'm very disciplined. So I stay at a very good weight. So actually, now I'm at 74. So I'm starting fight week with 71, and that's easy weight cut. I heard about guys cutting 6, 7 kilos in the sauna. I do 2.7. That's I, the, the last three weight cuts were just a walk in the park.
Hmm.
Really, last time I started my weight cut in there was a jacuzzi, a whirlpool outside the hotel, and I felt the water is very hot, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay for 1 hour in there before I go and do my sauna. And I lost 1.5 kilo in 1 hour. And
Just
I
in the
just
jacuzzi?
relaxed there. It was so good.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of some people doing crazy things. I mean, of course, you got like the Marab, he does the old style, just, running, sweating. I've heard people sitting in hot cars, all types of stuff. But that's pretty awesome that you're actually the first guy I've talked to that said the weight cuts have been pretty easily. Um, so,
I'm not a big fan of big weight cuts because at the end, I mean, I know we have examples like Merab. This guy is a cardio machine, but I think statistically, if you don't cut too hard, you're gonna have more energy in the later rounds, and I don't wanna end up in the later rounds tired and uh, couldn't defend myself because I'm tired, not because technically. That's the baddest thing in my opinion.
of course, man. Yeah. 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 I mean, I talked to a guy, he said he's been out of breath before fighting. He said it's like drowning, like fighting while you're drowning in water. So that's obviously, I mean, or you could pull the Alex Pereira and just cut 70 pounds. It's like,
Crazy,
right, right.
crazy man.
Yeah, man. So actually, I apologize. This is the last thing I wanted to ask was
Don't worry.
McGregor fight card, Holloway. What are we thinking?
I mean, I'm excited to see Conor McGregor fighting again.
Hmm.
It's exactly 11 years later after he knocked out Jose Aldo. It was the July 11th,
Right, right.
same day, same month.
Yeah.
Let's see what they're, but I'm really excited. Really,
Yeah.
really excited. Let's see if the ring rust is there or not, or if he can perform. I'm really looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. That'll be a banger fight for sure. That whole card looks stacked. That's awesome. Who's the main car or who's the main event for your fight?
Um, Uroš Medic, it's a
Okay.
Serbian guy.
Yes, yeah, yeah, Medic. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's knocking people out. He's spectacular.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was a card. They were calling for him to fight somewhere else. I can't remember where it was, but okay, I didn't see it
Leon
yet.
Edwards, I think.
What is it?
I think Leon Edwards.
Yeah, because they wanted to book a fight night in the UK, and they were maybe Birmingham or something. I'm not sure, but okay, so that'll be a great fight. That'll be a great fight. So, yeah, yeah, man. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Incredibly thankful that you came on. It was awesome talking to you. For anybody that wants to follow you, go ahead and shout out your socials.
Thank you very much, my man. Thank you for your time and giving me the platform. Socials, I'm just Bogdan Grad UFC. It's simple. You find me on Insta, wherever. Thank you, man. And sorry for moving around with the camera so much. I was just cooking and just finished my pasta, and now I'm gonna start eating, man.
Awesome. No worries, man. Enjoy the food. Make sure you don't get gassed out. Make sure you don't have to cut too much weight on the next fight,
Yeah.
Greg. Okay.
Thank you. Wish you all the best, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I'll see you later.
See you.